Hello and welcome to a episode of the Euro vlog for November 2022. Small disclaimer, this video may well contain triggers as we do talk about suicide, anxiety, depression, as well as things like substance abuse and a range of mental health difficulties that people face every day. So please, if you do go into this, do just be aware and make sure you look after yourself before and after, especially if that means talking to someone else and getting their support. Now, onto the vlog. Hello and welcome back to another episode of You Are Right, a vlog series about male mental health from Movember 2022. I'm Ryan and joining me today is Hesham. Now, he's part of the Beard Struggle community that I'm part of. You may have seen some of them before as well. And we're going to talk about sports and their impact on mental health. I'm going to hand over to yourself to go and start that conversation, really. So over to you.
Thank you. So my name is Hesham al-Shoki. I'm Egyptian, living in Kuwait. I am a banker by day and a jiu-jitsu coach by night. You can say that. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for the past 10 to 11 years. And I'm here to talk about how this specific sport has a huge impact on myself and all the men and women in my community as well. So I started back in 2010, and at that time I was active. I was lifting, doing some basketball here and there. And I had a friend who was doing jiu-jitsu, and he recommended it to me, and I went to class and started there. Now, to just skip ahead, the sport of jiu-jitsu itself, it depends on wrestling, and it's about pinning your opponent down. It's very similar to wrestling and judo. It's about pinning your opponent down and trying to control him and obtain a submission at the end. And if we're talking about sports, it's about as well getting points and winning by points if you favor that. Now, the way the thing about jiu-jitsu is, for me personally, I believe that each man, and we'd say as well women for self-defense, but specifically we're here to talk about, let's say, men. And I believe that each man is, like, it's necessary for our DNA to do a contact sport. We have that, like, from the way that we go through our day. We're sitting in offices, or we're doing whatever job you are doing, whether it's in an office or in a site or in anywhere it is. But part of your day and all this impacts you, like it suppresses you somehow. Let's say it civilizes you, all right? And part of us has to be uncivilized. Part of us deep inside, in order to feel that deep down manly, or let's say barbaric feeling, you know, that we that's hedged in our DNA, you know, deep down. You got to do a contact sport like judo or jiu-jitsu or wrestling or anything like that. And this is not just my personal experience. This is from the experience of all the guys in the community that we train at. They all feel the same thing. They feel that at one point of their day, they need to wrestle with someone, you know, take a body down and try to submit someone and get that resistance and get that energy out, whether it's in martial arts, like in kickboxing or wrestling or anything like that. And that's how I felt, and during my time doing jiu-jitsu. And that feeling got maximized during the COVID-19 2 years that we've been through. So when it started in 2020, we stopped all the training, of course, because it's a contact sport. And when it wasn't there anymore, it felt like I'm being dragged down into this really dark hole, you know. That feeling you get from a contact sport, it's hormonal, you know. When two bodies get close together, you know the spaces of you have the social space, you have the intimate space around you, all these. And when a body comes closer to you in an intimate space, hormones, they get released because it's either fight or flight situation. And when you experience that in jiu-jitsu, because it's all contact, it's all wrestling, it makes a huge difference when it's not there. That rush you get, and it gets taken away from you, it starts to affect you a little bit. And after those 2 years of no training, you start to realize how much you need it again. And when you get back to the training, you realize that this is necessary. This is really necessary. So what do you think about that?
Now, I'm not a physical contact sport, maybe not, but I myself, I do like my sports. Previously, basketball, rugby, more recently, kayaking, sailing. I'm a water bug more than anything else. And I think you've really hit it on the head there. That I don't know if it's entirely contact sport or that ability to have that outburst, the outlet. So you can get a bit rough. You can throw yourself around, put your body weight around, and throw that energy somewhere. And COVID definitely took it away. I mean, I remember, I don't know how it was where you are, but we could go out in the start like once a day for a walk. So you'd do as much as you can in that one moment of your day to feel physical. And then when you come home, you could try and do it, but you live in the household of 4, 5, 6 people. It was pretty cramped. And you've got to be careful, not to go haywire on one of your family members and be like, you know what, actually, I might not be able to go do jiu-jitsu over here, but I'm at home now. I think it definitely holds a specialty around sports. And you seem very passionate about jiu-jitsu and what it's done for you over the years. What was it like post-COVID? So when you returned to it, were you anxious about going back to it?
You see, the difficulties was during that time off, we got a little bit sort of used to being at home. And there was a little bit of a struggle to actually put my clothes on and go. And that was the hurdle that I had to come over in the past few months. And because we got so domesticated in that period, and going out was a chore. And it's not chore physically, it's just chore to set your mind to get back to that schedule again, being outside of the house. And most of us in the team as well had the same issue. And it was not anxious, it was just that we were bland. When we go to the gym, we didn't have the same, let's say, spirit or energy that we had before. And that lasted maybe for about 4 months. And just recently we started again joking around and having that fun time again, and enjoying actually the moment one more time during training.
Do you find that because of course, like, on the run up to COVID, jiu-jitsu was a big part of what you did, and who you were with that. It was that outburst for you and your team. It was that hand-on type. Did you find that after you got back into it, so let's say this 4-month window, you kind of, did you find your mental health dip during COVID, and then it kind of was able to come back on a bit of an increase again?
Definitely. Remember, it's during that we had several lockdowns here in Kuwait, and during these lockdowns, you have to understand that we're not just far away from sports and jiu-jitsu, we're just far away from any kind of socialization. And if you asked me 2 years ago, if you stayed at home and did not meet your friends for a while, would that affect you? I would say no. But while in the situation now, when you actually go through it, it makes a difference. Like right now, I totally believe that we are meant to socialize. We are meant to go out and have that sort of contact. And I tried, like during that time, I tried to deny it. Again, remember what I told you about the Middle Eastern community here, and being that men are not supposed to be depressed, or men are not supposed to, let's say, have mental difficulties, or they're just supposed to tough it out. And during that time, I tried to deny it, like, no, I'm fine. It's just, I'm just home. It's fine. It's okay. But when I got back and I got that struggle of getting back and getting that rhythm going again, I realized, no, it did affect me. It did affect me. It was a little bit, I didn't like to admit it to myself that it actually affected me, but it did. It did. And once I got back and we started getting that rhythm back, definitely my mood it changed, and I'm a lot more open now. I'm more energetic. I'm back to my healthy eating, and same goes for my wife as well. She went through the same pattern.
I think that COVID showed an awful lot of vulnerability in the world, and I think it brought mental health to the very big forefront. Especially, I have a lot of male friends, and a lot of the time, I'm quite lucky, really. I think they've known me enough, and I've harassed them enough that they understand that they're allowed to talk about this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But over COVID, it was like, we would have weekly phone calls, you'd be constantly texting each other, we'd be playing games with each other, and it was like, actually, you know what, we're all talking about how hard this is for us, where actually previously, if you had a bad day, you wouldn't call your mate and go, I'm having a bad day. You just sort of soldier on. And then over COVID, it was like, I have a phone call, I woke up this morning, I'm really not feeling too well, and it'd be like, yeah, just jump on PlayStation, jump on Xbox, we'll have a game, we'll have a chat. And there was definitely that socialization, like you say, that we were meant to socialize and that we need to socialize. Yes. And actually, it was like it was pulled away from us without preparation, and we took it so much for granted. I think my biggest thing ever, like in COVID, was how come I never attended that concert? That was a big thing for me. Like, now I've got like hundreds booked this year, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm affording this right now, but we're going to try and do it. But no, I think you're 100% right, and it is a shame, really, that there are still parts of the world that don't recognize that.
Yeah, recently, like now, the new generation is a little bit more aware of these things, and like traditionally, let's say from my parents and my grandparents and all, super traditional at that time, and there's not much light being shone on that subject at all. Again, specifically for men, and also to let you understand that from at this side, when it comes to let's say marriage and preparation for marriage and marriage itself, everything falls on the man. All right, traditionally, again speaking, okay. Men has to prepare the wedding, and they have to support, and they have to provide everything. Before, it was not much shared, okay. Some families, of course, with exceptions of some families, the woman would support, but let's say the majority of the simple people as well in my country, it's just the man's burden. All right, the newer generations right now, me, my wife, and my friends, and everyone is supporting. Everyone is pushing through to make things work and make it successful. Create a family and all. As much as there is now more focus on let's say women, because they also go through a lot, and they get more let's say attention when it comes to mental health, because again, society's look is that they're allowed to have that because they're emotional, okay. Also, on the other side, men are getting more attention these days as well. I'm talking about our region here. And again, my personal belief is that it's not about being soft, like I don't act soft, or we say that we're soft, or I don't want to be that person, or I don't want to call someone soft if he's expressing his emotion. But I believe there is a limit to it as well, because some men, they take advantage of that, and it becomes too much. I'd say it becomes too much. maybe someone will say that I'm wrong. No, they get to have to express whatever feelings they want. But my personal beliefs is that yes, men can express some emotions, or let's say some vulnerabilities, but to a certain extent, because again, if he is a pillar in a family, and let's say the other side, the female side, is expressing these emotions, I have to also be in control. If we both express emotions, nothing is going to get solved, and it's going to be chaotic. So you have to balance it out. How to, let's say, take charge, be a man, and have control. And at the same time, understand that you also have some weaknesses and how to deal with them with your partner or with yourself. Do you
I think
agree?
it's being knowledgeable that, and I think this can apply for, men, women, anyone really, is that actually, that everyone has vulnerability, but
Sure.
to an extent, we can't let that vulnerability become who we are. That
Sure.
we're all allowed to feel vulnerable, but there are times. I mean, one of the original names spitballed for this series was, it's not okay to not be okay, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes you could be having the worst day ever. If you don't go to work, you don't pay your bills, your kids don't get fed, your mortgage
Exactly.
isn't paid.
Exactly.
And it's like, that actually, yeah, we can all admit vulnerability, but actually there's got to be a realistic sense of it as well. But it's good that places are moving towards the idea that people can be vulnerable, because I think that was the big thing for a while, like the words like, whenever, you need to man up, you shouldn't talk
Exactly.
about that. It's there like, well, actually they can, they're allowed to express that vulnerability, and everyone should, men, gender aside, everyone should
Yeah.
express their vulnerability. But I do agree, we can't let it overtake who we are.
Exactly.
And if you are getting to that point, then that's when you need to go and seek professional assistance. That's when your partner, your friends, your parents, anyone like that can't suffice then, because the moment that it's starting to take over who you are, then realistically you need to go and seek help.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think it's
help
good
here. It's again, it's still being being accepted here. Not yet. Although I'm finding more and more people that actually tell me they're seeing a psychiatrist and they're working on themselves, but still it's a work in progress. Yeah, it's a work in progress here.
But all progress is progress.
Yeah, exactly.
It is, it's better. It's better than it was. It's better than it was 2 years ago. Like every year, there seems to be a bit more acceptance to it, which is, I guess, at the moment, all we can ask for. As we move towards the end of this, are there any closing statements you'd like to make around, the implementation of sport within the mental health, and anything else you'd like to say around it?
Yeah, well, what I was trying to get out of this is to just send a message to everybody out there that find a true passion. And of course, passion, they can be anything, but my whole specialty is movement. So find a sport or an activity outdoor, or an activity with your body specifically, that you truly love, that gives you a rush, that makes you, while you're doing it, your mind is just blank. It's just focused on that moment. And you forget about your worries, you forget about your fears, you forget about your day, and you forget about everything. It's just, you're just doing that sport right now, and it resets you. So that's my message. Find that sport or activity that truly resets you and resets your day, and hang on to it. Don't let it go. Not lockdown. Don't let it go, because it really makes a difference, and you're gonna regret it later, because I'm regretting it right now. That's it.
Thank you very much for coming on. It's such a wonderful insight,
Appreciate it.
And it's another insight that we have, and it shows and demonstrates that these things are there to be spoken about. So let's talk about them. Let's put our best foot forward, and let's keep on going. Thank you guys for tuning in again to another one. We will have the next vlog tomorrow. So apart from that, have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, and yeah, I'll see you then. Goodbye. Thank you for watching that Euro blog. It's been a phenomenal journey that we've been on to get this far, and we're hoping that it will long outlive the vlog series. But it's not over there. There is more to be done, and there is a donation link to the Movember charity inside the description. If you can donate, please do consider it, or even if you can just spread that link far and wide to get as many people to donate as possible, that's also fantastic. We are actively making a change, and you're part of that. So thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.